Okay, I know I talked about this before, but just gonna re-mention it here. So, the 49th season of the NBA was in 1994-95. So the mere 49th season. It was the same year that Michael Jordan actually came back wearing 45. Um, and so Valentine's, whatever. But just wanted to point out, I guess, that the Houston Rockets had won that year. So they beat the Orlando Magic 4 games to 0. And so I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win this year, but I'm just, I mean, they have a decent shot. We'll find out, I guess, when who wins the MVP this year, because usually whoever wins the MVP doesn't win the finals. So this year we had David Robinson won the NBA final, or he won the season MVP. So let's look at David Robinson. Oh, David Robinson, look how old he is this year. 49, born on August 6th, which is the 218th day of the year. 218 is February 18th, the 49th day of the year. So basically, in the last video, I talked about how I'm looking for these Space Jam players and their numbers and anything to do with Michael Jordan or a Jordan reference in Monstars. So I'm just going to go through all these teams. So the Atlanta Hawks, the only thing that I noticed was that they have number 0, a Monstar, Jeff Teague. They don't have a 22, 23, nothing. So just like I said, I'm just analyzing all of this. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have 23, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. They also have Kevin Love. So the Valentines reference is a Monstar, number 0. So it's kind of confusing. You can't really have a Monstar on a team with a Jordan reference, right? So I really do not think the Cavs are going to win, just for that reason. They might make the finals, but I don't think they're going to win. Um, they also have a number 1, but they don't have the Bill Murray, and they don't have the Lola Bunny. So who knows? It is also the Cleveland Cavaliers' 45th season in the NBA. So another Valentine's reference. But there's also other teams that it's their 45th season. The Chicago Bulls are a very interesting Valentine's surrounded Michael Jordan. So, of course, you got the Michael Jordan reference from the Chicago Bulls, so they don't necessarily need to have a number 23. And then they have Taj Gibson, 22. Aaron Brooks is number 0. So that kind of makes me think they're not going to win it because they have a 0 on their team. So, like I said, you can't have a Monstar with a Jordan. So they also have Derrick Rose. And I mean, he's been out, comes back, whatever. He's been a huge story in the sporting news for how long? And he came back for the playoffs and whatnot. So, I mean, and then Rose, that's what I'm getting at, I guess. And he was also born October 4th, 1988, all kinds of stuff with him. But what's interesting is that it's also the Chicago Bulls' 49th season, and they're the only team in the playoffs right now that it's their 49th season, and 49 has seemed to be just humongous, way bigger than 45. Even though they go together, it seems like 49 comes up a lot more. Also, in order to win the finals, they would have to win 16 games because there's the 4 rounds basically. So you have to win 4 in every round. So that would be 4 times 4, 16. And in the regular season, they had 50 wins. So 50 plus 16 is 66. And 66 is 49 years ago. So if the Bulls win, I don't know. I think the Bulls are going to probably make the finals just for this reason alone. Not necessarily going to win it though, because they have a number 0 on their team, which I think messes it all up for them. Just like how Michigan State and the NCAA tournament was all about Valentines and green and all kinds of stuff, but they didn't actually end up winning it. They build it up and then they just let them lose. So who knows? Also, on the Rose kick, just to show that they're doing Valentine's still. Pete Rose has been in the news like crazy, and there was an article just today that said something about how he was banned from baseball, and now he's hired as a Fox Sport analyst or whatever. So I mean, just pointing it out there, they keep doing these Rose Valentine's Day themes. The Toronto Raptors, um, I know they lost yesterday, but I don't know. They're kind of they had a big thing around them, I guess. Anyway, they have a number 2, Landry Fields. They have a number 10, and they also have they have a 44 even, but they have a 23, Lou Williams, and they don't have a number 0, so they don't have a Monstar, but they do have a Jordan. They were also the only team that's in the playoffs that had 49 wins this season. No other team had 49 wins. I mean, they had more, but not exactly 49. And this was actually one of the games I actually got to sit down and watch the other day. And like I said, they lost to the Wizards, but what was really interesting was that everyone in the crowd, like tons of people, were wearing shirts with a number 6 on them, and I was like, what in the world what's up with that, you know? So I looked it up. So anyway, what the deal is, all these shirts, because the rapper Drake, and this is a shirt right there even, but he made all these playoff shirts, and he has an album where he talks about the number 6 like crazy, and I guess it's supposedly a reference to Toronto, aka the 416. So the 6, I guess, has to do with the number 416. I can't figure out why. I mean, no idea. But anyway, like it says, Lou in the 6, Drake unveils Toronto Raptors playoff T-shirts. So it's just kind of funny because Lou Williams is number 23 on the Toronto Raptors. It's funny too. This thing only has 6 comments. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, let's check out Drake then. And I mean, I just want to show you basically the albums or whatever. But he dated Rihanna. He did stuff like Lil Wayne, all kinds of stuff. All these Illuminati puppet people. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He dated Rihanna. Rihanna was even born. Somebody told me on 220. It was like the same day that Kurt Cobain was born, and 220 has a bunch of stuff to with it. Even the word 220 adds up to 239, which is all kinds of stuff to do with. It's 239 years since the Declaration of Independence and whatnot. But anyway, let's look at his albums here. It was, if you're reading this, it's too late is the album that they were talking about it, and the next one that's coming out is called Views from the 6. But let's check out this album here. Well, first off, it's released on the first day of Lupercalia this year, February 13th, 44th day. I mean, there's a 37,000 units upon the conclusion of the tracking week. You come over here, you read producers, and you go through them. Oh, look, there's a TM88. Like, come on. And if you even click on this, it goes into more in depth than 88. I'm not even going to go into it. But this is also a novel that if you're reading this, it's too late, about secret societies. Yeah, right here. If you're reading this, it's too late. And basically just wanted to point out that that's what it's about. So 500 years, the secret society of the Midnight Sun, blah, 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 blah. 373 pages, the mirrors, 3773. And it's in a book series that's based on like the senses. So like the first one is based on smell. This one's based on sound. We'll go figure, because he's making a rap album. So it's based on sound. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I don't even know if he even says that it was named after that. That's just what the, whatever it is, the disambiguation or however you say it up here. It just says for the novel, see this. So pretty funny that it's about sound, and then I don't know. But the album, just look at all these sixes and whatnot on the six God, star 6 7 and 67 with Bill Murray and all kinds of stuff with 67. Um, Six Man, You in the Six, 6 p.m. in New York. And yes, that's why he called it that. I'm assuming that he was, I don't know. It's not even called anything with the six, so it's kind of weird. But there's a whole concept with the number six, obviously. And I mean, even Madonna, like, but why six God? And like, you know what I mean? It just six man. What I wonder what the songs are even about. But anyway, I'm gonna move on. Just wanted to point that out. Anyway, the song or the shirt, Lou and then the shirt with the sixes, and then the headline that said Lou and the Sixes or whatever. It all has to do with this guy, Lou Williams, the guy who's number 23. So that's the Jordan of this team. And if you look at him here, okay, he was the 45th pick, so Valentine's Day, and he was selected to the 76ers. Interesting, you know, the Sixers and the whole album and whatnot is about the sixes. And he's also the sixth man on the Toronto Raptors. And it doesn't say it on the Wikipedia. I'm just not going to pull up an article, but he also wore number 6 in high school. So, I mean, he's the sixth man, got drafted to the 76ers, wore number 6 in high school. Michael Jordan is surrounded by sixes. This guy is number 23, just like Michael Jordan. 45th pick with Valentine's Day. Also, the thing was called Lou and the Six. Lou and the Six. So Lou and a six. Lou, if you add it up in simple gematria, is 48 plus 6. That makes 54, which makes love. I mean, even look at his salary, his 2014-15 salary. 5,450,000, 54, 45 mirrors. That is all about love. What are the odds of that, you know? Anyway, gonna move on. I think I know they lost game 1, but I think they're definitely a team to watch out for. Who knows? You know, like I said, they don't have a Monstar, but they have a Jordan, so they have a good chance of winning. I think if they're running with the Space Jam story, like who knows though? Maybe they changed it. Like I said, since Westbrook is out, they might have changed it. Anyway, I'm going to throw in one more thing here while I'm at it. Just another story about a heart. You had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had his quadruple bypass heart surgery at UCLA, of all places, where I've talked about UCLA with Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, just all kinds of stuff there on Valentine's Day and whatnot. Just throwing that out there. I mean, kind of weird that they have another story about a heart. And he was also born on 4/16. So I don't know. Maybe that's the reference with Drake, the 416, 4/16. Who knows? But pretty weird this just happens, and they make them shirts and whatnot. I don't know. I think he made them shirts way before that, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird that I look it up and then that's what it is. I mean, whatever. And he also went to UCLA 49 years ago was his first year. I don't know. Wow. It's kind of funny I say all that though, and then because they're playing the Wizards, and the Wizards actually have a 1, a 2, a 22, but they don't have a Monstar either, but they don't have a Jordan, and they don't have a Lola Bunny. So who knows? But they have a 45 DeJuan Blair, and DeJuan Blair is born on 4/22, which is an 88 day. 4 times 22, 88. He was also the 37th pick in the draft, so kind of interesting. It's also the Wizards' 54th season, so I mean that's a love reference. So who knows? Anyway, let's move on. The Wizards, like I said, didn't have a whole lot. I guess the only thing I wanted to say, lastly, I guess, about the Wizards is that they don't have a 23. So, and they don't have any real reference. There's no Jordan. There's nothing. So I think, honestly, I think that they're going to lose. So just just my prediction, I guess. So as I'm moving on to the Bucks here, I'm going to look at the roster here, but I see this article out there. It says Rose's love for the game on full display. Rose is playing his first postseason in almost 3 years, and the Bulls guard is showing every second of it so far. I mean, just the headline in general: Rose's love for the game. I mean, they're doing that on purpose. It's so ridiculous. All right, so moving on, the Milwaukee Bucks. They honestly have none of them numbers except for 22, and then they also have OJ Mayo, who is an infinity. So who knows? That's kind of weird. Only I think he's the only person that has that number in the NBA. I haven't done that much and looked that much into it, but anyway, I mean, I honestly think they're not going to use these guys at all, just because there's no Space Jam numbers whatsoever since 22. But 22 has been a real significant number, with a bunch of stuff, and also they have two Duke players, which have mirrored numbers, 12 and 21. That's kind of weird. And you had Duke that won, and a whole bunch of stuff with 88 and Duke. I'm actually going to make another video, not tonight, but hopefully tomorrow. I've been having severe. I'm using a different computer right now, and it's going worse than my other one. So, but basically, it all has to do with Duke. There's a bunch of Duke stories actually. Anyway, moving on to a different team then. So then we have the Boston Celtics, and honestly, nothing that special. At least with Space Jam wise, we got a Monstar, and we have a 45 and a 44. But I honestly don't see any other numbers. So I mean, they don't have a Jordan, so I doubt they're gonna win, especially when they're playing a team with a number 23 on it. So, I'm just gonna move on. I mean, I looked up these people. They don't have anything significant about them, like not with Valentines or Space Jam or whatever. So let's move on. Okay, how to use a new website because ESPN.com for some reason does not work all of a sudden. But the Brooklyn Nets have a 44, a 22, a 10, a Monstar, a 55 even, wow. A number 1, and then Darren Williams is number 8. So I mean they have a Bugs Bunny, a Lola Bunny, a Bill Murray, but they do not have a Michael Jordan. They also have a Monstar, so I don't think they're gonna win. But they don't have a Jordan. I take that back. They do have a Jordan, Jerome Jordan. Um, hmm. And it says he's number 9, but in this picture they show him with New York in a 44. So I don't know if that was like since he's the 44th pick in the draft. So maybe I don't know. Maybe that was he had to wear the number of his pick. I don't know, but that's kind of weird. 44 and then 44 here. Well, I don't know. Basically, they have almost every person. They don't have a Daffy Duck, but they have a Monstar, so I think they're not going to win it all. It's just throwing that out there. Since the Monstar will not win it all. Oh, and another thing about the Brooklyn Nets is that a partial owner is Jay-Z, and he's surrounded by Illuminati stuff like crazy. But he's also 45 years old right now. Um, Even when he bought or whatever. Hold on, I wanted to point this out too. He's also ranked the 88th greatest artist of all time by Rolling Stone. So 88. He is 45, which is Valentine's Day. If you scroll down here, it says he bought when he bought into the Nets. Let me find it here. He's part owner of the Brooklyn Nets NBA team, having paid a reported $4.5 million for his share. So he paid $4.5 million. That's your 45. Like, come on. I probably should, but I'm not going to because this video is already too long. But I mean, there's so much stuff with Jay-Z. It's stupid. I mean, just go read it for yourself. I mean, 66 million, which is 49 years ago, is 1966. Awarded a contract to operate 4,500 slot machine Racino at the Aqueduct Racetrack. I mean, literally, just come here and read. You'll find patterns like crazy. So estimated 2 and 7%. You got November 16th, which is there's 45 days left until the end of the year. I mean, you keep scrolling down. There's there's a bunch of 2 and 7 references like multiple times, which 2 and 7 is 27. I've talked about how this is the 27 year due to the 88s. Oh yeah. Something in 2014, hardships with a GPA of 2.7 or below through college. Like, why 2.7, you know? Anyway, I'm just going to do the East for now, and I'm going to do the West tomorrow, I think. But I'm just going to point out a few more things about the NBA and the number 49 and whatnot. Okay, so anyway, when I looked up any NBA player who's number 49, and I guess only 2 players ever have been number 49, and Shandon Anderson is one of them. And he was born on December 31st, 1973. And if you add up December 31st, like the actual words, I'm not even going to type it all out, but December, and then if you wrote like 31st, whatever, it actually equals 227, which is the whole that's the 49th prime number, the whole Valentine's theme. To add even more proof to it, he was the 54th pick overall. 54 is love. It was 96 draft, so that's the same year Space Jam came out. And he actually did win an NBA championship with the Miami Heat in 2006. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Never even heard of him before, so he must not have played, really. And the only other person to have 49 in the NBA was Mel McCants. So MM, he was born in 1967, which, like, I always say that, which, I've talked about it before. Well, I have, so I'm sorry. I don't want to keep rambling about. I already ramble enough. I don't want to ramble about all these other numbers that I've talked about multiple times, from way back. But August 19th on the Julian, if you convert it to Julian calendar, it's actually August 6th, and August 6th is the 218th day of the year, and 218 is the 49th day of the year. He only played 1 year in the NBA, and that was with the Lakers or whatever too. So, but it does say that in college, he helped the Boilermakers win back-to-back Big Ten conference titles and NCAA tournament appearances, including a Sweet 16 in 1988. And then he was drafted in 1989 with the Lakers or whatever. So, I mean, they put an 88 thing in there for whatever the reason, you know. They you got to see 88. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. I honestly don't know what my full pick would be for the Eastern Conference champion. Still going to keep looking at it. Just wanted to make this video to show some patterns and whatnot, predictions. I mean, I would have to say it's either going to be the Cavs, the Bulls, or the Raptors. But who knows? Like I said, I'm going to keep looking. I'll make another video before it even comes to it. Just going to play on the articles and whatnot. I haven't really seen any big articles come out yet. So, and we also don't know who the MVP of the regular season is either. So, which makes a huge difference. So, anyway, have a great night. And the West hopefully will be out tomorrow. hopefully a few more. There's so many little things that I want to post, but I never have the time to do it. But hopefully I can get that out tomorrow as well. So bye.